Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get.
So the next thing we got to focus on, point number 2 here I want to get into, okay, is blocking out time for meta time. When you walked in today, I think I was listening to like orchestral music or something. And I do it every single day. So you have meta time. Are you a big student of like Greek, or did you get into the origins of that at medical school? Or?
No, not very much.
Okay, it's probably healthy for you. This word meta just means above. So if you can just jot that down, meta above, that's it. All we're trying to do is, this is time where you're working on your business, not in it.
Right.
So this is the time of day that you're working on your business, not in it. Now, the rest of the time you can call people and say, well, he's an alpha male. That guy's an alpha. All he cares about is getting stuff done. The rest of your day is kind of more that alpha time. So when you're like sitting there meeting with a patient, you're focused, trying to help their eye and look at their case and figure it out. You're probably not going, well, I wonder what I could do to improve my business by 2%.
Right.
And you know, as a doctor, you probably see patients back to back, right? I mean, it's
right.
pretty, okay. So, and as a DJ guy, same thing with my business, I'd see, at their peak, we were doing 80 weddings a weekend. So it's like you're seeing, but we have to block out time. So right now, I'm just asking you, so we don't waste your time or my time, is when you go back home and you get back to St. Louis, I'm asking you this question is, when are you going to schedule the time to work on the business? And if you can just jot that down for me. You don't have to tell me, but it's just the when. Because for me, and I am not saying this is the right solution, I'm just saying you have to have a solution. For me, I have 5 kids. I cannot do any thinking in my life, maybe you can, but I can't after I get home. Right. The kids want to hang out, then they want to go to bed, then they want to hop in bed with us, then they want to get out of our bed, somebody wants to do something crazy in the bed, we have to clean that up, and then they go back. So that's what we do. So for me, I can't do, from 5 on is just a no zone. I can't do it. Now, I've noticed though that very few of my kids, 0, or most kids will say, Dad, do you want to hang out? In that 3 to 7 a.m. mode. And very few clients even call me then. And no one calls me, in fact. So for me, I have found between the windows of 3 and 7 with most clients I've worked with, nobody harasses them. I also have found, medically speaking, most people need 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, and you also got to factor in time for faith and family and workouts and stuff. But I'm asking you today, if you can commit to 30 minutes a day, to work on the business, not in it. And if you can just go ahead and jot down a time.
Yeah.
Because we have all sorts of studies out there by Habits of the Rich Institute. They've appeared on Dave Ramsey's website. This shows over 80% of millionaires spend 15 minutes a day or more studying success, working on their business. But the average population doesn't do it at all, and 2% of the poor do it. So we want to make sure you have a time. Good. And I'm just telling you, I've worked with hundreds of companies to help them grow. And every single one of the companies that's had success, their owner always has a specific time. So that's like, your wife is awesome, and I know our wives are better people than we are. But when she's like, you don't want to have a time where she says, hey honey, could you do this? And you go, oh, I can't because I'm trying to do meta time. And then a customer walks in and you go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to, and then you don't do it. Right. You want to block off a time where you've agreed upon it with your wife. You've blocked it off where customers don't interrupt you. It's just that same time. Rachel Faucett, how are you, my friend?
Hi, Clay. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to be here in this cabin of awesomeness.
Awesome.
It feels great. Seriously, when we pulled up here to this chateau, this abode, this farm community that you've created, I was in awe. It's just a beautiful place. Do you like it out here? Is it relaxing?
It's my favorite place in the entire world.
That's beautiful. Well, I appreciate you letting me be here for a few hours before you kick us off the island here. But today we're going to be talking about time management.
It's never been referred to as an island. I like that.
I feel like it is an island, kind of an oasis.
Our island. Henry Charlotte Island.
Now here's the thing. Today we are going to be talking about time management. And this specifically is the course, the class, the thing. I feel like if you're watching this and you've ever made excuses, this is going to be the one that just, boop, it's going to break all those excuses for you, and you're going to have to be forced to come to grips that unless you have more than 5 kids who you homeschool, you do not have any excuses to not have enough time to get things done. We're talking about time management, how a mompreneur and mother of 5 gets things done, how you can too. So
get it done.
Oh, okay, so here we go. And before I do that, though, I want to read a little bit about some of your business accolades so people know just a little bit about you there. And that way they know that you're not just somebody who's had this perpetually non-profitable business, but you have a great business as well here. You have been a consultant for Pottery Barn, for the Disney. What would be your role at Disney?
Disney Online Family Publications. I've created a ton of content for Disney Online Family Publications, as well as I was Disney's first pinner.
And you've actually designed collections for Anthropology.
Anthro.
And your award-winning craft supplies are flying off the shelves.
With
you can
Plaid
find them
online.
They're being sold at Walmart. Perhaps you've heard of Walmart. Maybe you haven't heard of Walmart, and that's okay. Thrive's coming to your planet too. But here we go. Michael's Stores, Joann's Store, Hobby Lobby. Your site's been featured in Martha Stewart Living, Better Home and Gardens, HGTV, Huffington Post, Business Insider, and this just in. Today you were featured, or this week, it featured in yesterday in Wall Street Journal. So there it is. And so we're going to start off with a notable quotable. I know you love these. I do too. So here we go. A fire hose of knowledge you won't get in college. This is from Brian Tracy, the best-selling author. He says, all successful people, men and women, are big dreamers. They imagine what their future could be, ideal in every respect. And then they work every day toward their distant future, that goal or purpose. So my question for you, Rachel, is what is your big dream?
I guess about 10 or 15 years ago, I'm a Christian and I believe in Jesus Christ and I pray a lot. And after my daughter died, I prayed a lot. And and one of my prayers was to have insane ideas. I think I'm probably one of the only, I would pray for huge ideas, like the greatest ideas ever. I wanted huge God ideas, not bigger than God, but gigantic creativity. I want the biggest, weirdest, funniest, silliest, craziest creativity ever. And I just feel like that was an answer to prayer. And all of a sudden these ideas would just run through my head, and I would pretend that I was on the Martha Stewart show all the time. And I would make these things at night by myself after the kids would go to bed. And I would say, this is good enough. This is good enough. This could be in stores. And I would just I definitely, I just felt in my head, and I guess I never thought it would happen. I just didn't really think it would happen, but I definitely thought about it a lot and where if this is good enough. And then all of a sudden it was good enough. And so.
That's your big dream, your big prayer was for big, insane ideas.
Yeah.
And so now you have all these ideas.
Yeah.
And so I want to ask you, I mean, on a practical level, in really simple terms that my small mind, my third grade mind can handle here, can you explain to the thrivers around the planet, how you actually now make money? Because you have these big ideas, and you have this site with a lot of traffic, but I mean, how do you, if you kind of were to distill it down so that I can get it, how do you actually make money?
So Handmade Charlotte works in 3 ways. And the first way is idea generation, project and product creation. The second is publishing. And the third is amplification. So the first meaning the products that are in the stores. And the second would be publishing, handmadecharlotte.com, that we work with advertisers in creating those ads, advertisements for you. And then the third would be amplifying, which means aggregating the content, getting people to actually come to the site and to see these ads that we're creating, and amplifying content that brands want amplified in the content that we are trying to get out to the masses. And in the very beginning, it was me, myself, and I, right? And me, myself, and I, and my husband, then me, myself, and I, and my husband. And so we had to get really good at all three of those things. So right now, brands will hire us for just the amplification piece, sometimes just the idea generation and the consulting, which is basically consulting, and the products development. And so, or sometimes brands want all three. I love that I get to I like having a little hand, and I think like any entrepreneur, like we like to have our hands in a lot of different things at one time, especially if we're part of one piece, because everything works together, that I 100% want to be part of the other, pieces of the puzzle. And I love that I get that opportunity in most cases.
I think that one thing that as an entrepreneur that you've been able to have big success, and I want to make sure that if you're watching this, you don't feel like success isn't for you, or it's not approachable for you. It's not something you qualify for. There was a guy that I had an opportunity to give just some basic life business tips to, not the kind of stuff you have on Thrive, but like an hour together. And he went from being a Taco Bell employee to making a little over $75,000 a year within about 12 months. I've met another lady who really had this very small idea, expanded her idea. Next thing you know, her business brought in over $400,000 within 12 months. And I know that you pray, and I'm not going to argue and disagree with you, but because Thrive, we try to give you guys principles and success tips. I happen to be a Christian as well, but let's just say you're like, well, I don't believe in prayer, and it's fine. But the thing is, if you have a big idea and you will just take the time to discipline yourself and ask yourself, how can I solve a problem for somebody else in a way that offers them value and I can charge them for the solution? If I can find a problem and solve it and charge people for the solution, you can do big things with your life. You can absolutely achieve big things. And I love that you're doing that, but you didn't let the fact that you're a mother of 5 get in the way. You didn't let the fact that you decided to homeschool get in the way. You basically just said, I am a mother of 5, I'm a homeschool mother and a mother of 5, and I am going to be successful with these big ideas, these big dreams that God has given you. So what time, how do you get everything done? What time do you wake up every day, though? On a practical level, what time are you getting up?
Well, right now, I like to stay, I'm an early riser at this point. I've set different schedules and different hours, throughout the last, 15 years. But I get up right now, 5:30 in the morning.
5:30.
Right.
Now, there's a Forbes article that came out, and you can find this in all different research you can do. You don't have to worry about just being a Forbes article. This is everywhere you can find this, and on Thrive you'll hear this. Almost every entrepreneur that we interview is getting up before 6. Now, there's a few that are night owls, but the thing is we're getting that extra work in. To get ahead, you got to put that extra work in. So you're getting up about 5:30.
5:30 now, and literally for the last 2 years, I was staying up between 2 and 3, mandatory, going to bed at 3, and then waking up at 8:30. So
how do you organize your day then? So once you wake up, how do you go about organizing your day so you know you're going to schedule yourself for success? So you actually have scheduled and ordained a successful day in advance there.
So I know that my kids need to be up by 6. And then I've got to drive them to school, or my husband's got to drive them to school, but I like to get the others up because we are homeschooling. For the last 5 years, I've had a tutor. And this year, the day before school started, the tutor took another job.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it was like, you know what? Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go, yo. Here we go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And so my husband and I were actually kind of excited about the challenge because we hadn't really done everything. We've been homeschooling for 10 years, but so, I mean, now it's completely on us with no help.
When you said you drove your kids to, do you could drive them to like a kind of a co-op where they work with other
So some of my kids
kids?
go a couple, like 2 days a week. And so that ends up, because I have 5, I have to drive every day.
Really?
So because I have 5 kids, and so even though they only go a couple days a week, because of different ages, I have to drive every day. And that's the first time I've ever had to do that. So that was a big change. But I love now that I feel very productive and getting it done in the morning. And my entire childhood was spent in the morning. So I getting up early. So I feel 5:30, and then I drive my kids to school. I come back, and on my way home, school's about an hour away, 45 minutes. So it's like a 2-hour turnaround. And right after I drop them off, I grab my phone. I make sure that before I go to bed, I make sure that all of the responsibilities that I need to delegate for the morning, for a quick start at 10 o'clock, that they know what they're doing using, Asana. We use Asana and Basecamp or whatever. Like, you can use different things.
3 quick questions here. One is, you said for a quick start, what do you mean?
Like a quick start, like there's no lagging around. What do I do? I mean, there is.
The day starts, boom.
The day starts, and I know things are getting done while I'm not there with my team. That we have a priority list, and that is typically made. I typically make that on like a Sunday night, but now I just sort of like do it. Like, I just dump things.
Can I have a permission to freak out for a second?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I want to hammer this, because I meet business owners all the time, who will see me at a conference, and they will come up to me, and they will even hire me sometimes to be a consultant. And I will come to their office. It doesn't matter what state I'm in, whether I'm in Florida or Colorado or Washington, whatever state I go to. And when I go there, I always get there before them, and it freaks me out. It freaks me out that, like, I'm getting there at 8 as a consultant, assuming that they will be there at 9. I'm thinking, well, if the employees are there at 9.
Not 9. I want a good employee. Guess what time I want them there?
I don't know.
And I know you are on the ball if you are 15 minutes early.
See, and this is the thing.
Because you know what? Work does not get started. Yeah. It doesn't get started at 9. It takes 15 minutes for you to settle in, at least, right? So I want you, so my team, they'll get there, and 15, 20 minutes early, park their bag, open their little desk, plug in their computers. And I love that, because I cannot stand, we have so much to do with a slim team. So I want to make sure that it drives me completely insane when I'm seeing inefficiencies there.
And see, that's what makes me so crazy when I get asked to do consulting. I'm like, how am I beating you to work if I'm the consultant? You're the boss. And when I get there, I'll notice there's a slow start. The boss has no idea what anyone should do until like noon. So the employees drift around, and then you'll talk to the employees, and you're like, I mean, one particular place, you talk to them and you say, so what are you doing? They're like, well, we don't have a call list. You're a call center? You don't have a call list? Yeah, we've been waiting for a couple days.
Make one.
I'm just
Go get one.
I'm thinking the 2 issues. I'm like, one.
Sorry, go get one.
One of them, I'm thinking, they're like, how come your boss hasn't equipped you with the tools to do your job? A. B, why are you doing nothing? And I'm just watching, and it's almost hard for me not to freak out.
Call your manager. Call the CEO. Like, you know what? I mean, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I see this all the time.
There. Like, how could you even work there? First of all those people are going to leave.
So as an action item, I just want to throw this out here for you. If you are a business owner and you are being a bad boss right now, what you have to do is you have to plan the day for your team before they get there.
Plan it weekly, because plan it weekly and have enough work. If you've got, you're not bringing in a lot of work, and you've got external work coming in, we like to keep an 80-20 balance of 20% internal work, 80% billable work. But right now, in the last couple of months, we've been lucky enough to keep 100% billable hours for our employees, which is fantastic. So we like to be very conscious of that. But sometimes you do have to do some internal things, because we have some fun ideas and campaigns that we want to launch just with Handmade Charlotte. But Without a sponsored brand or anything, like products that we're working on and things.
Now you mentioned the name of 2 software systems you're using, and I don't think maybe a lot of the Thrivers are familiar with that. You mentioned Basecamp.
Basecamp, Asana, and right now we were on Basecamp, but right now we're just on Asana.
Okay.
And it's super easy. I mean, it is super easy. Like when I tell you, like I really feel like I can empower anyone that just doesn't feel confident because they didn't get their MBA or whatever. Is that if I always like say this, if I can do it, I promise you, you can do it.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you this here. When you're organizing your day and you're planning it out, do you try to keep your phone off and kind of uninterrupted during that maybe hour where you're planning, if you're planning the night before or you're planning that morning, do you try to be somewhat uninterrupted while you're planning out your day, or what's kind of your mojo? Where are you? What are you doing when you're planning out your day?
So, because I have these like random thoughts all through the day and like these brilliant ideas.
Brilliant.
Right. And so usually I will just dump them into Asana and then assign our art director that task and or whoever, like I'll assign like on the go, like sign that task. But typically I do that at night. I schedule all my phone calls for certain days of the week. So those are my phone call days. So I'm not interrupted through the day. So like whatever I'm doing, a certain activity, like if we're working on literally crafting proposals for that day, then that whole day will be spent on crafting proposals because all of our focus will be on that and we're not distracted and we don't get, because momentum builds on each other. So if I spend a whole day doing proposals, I'm going to come up with innovative ideas within that.
Here we go. You just said something huge. Big aha for a lot of Thrivers watching this. We have to time block. And I always tell people the example, I said, if you're golfing and intermittently taking cell phone calls, you're going to irritate the people you're golfing with. You're not going to be very good at golfing that day. You're not going to have the relaxation that you wanted from golfing, or the call's not going to be done right. And so I am a huge believer of be where you are. Like mentally be present. And I know we all get distractions, but I am, the older I get, the more mature I get as a business owner, the more I'm about that. And I think it's baffling to people, but like, just this morning I get text messages from people like, hey, can I get an office key? And hey, can you ask me? And I just do not respond because I was prepping for this time with you today. And it's not that I don't care about those questions. It's just I'm time blocking. And then when I'll get into like dealing with, loose ends for the day, I'll block that off too. But I think it's so important if you're watching this. And I know if you're watching this, it's hard because the average business has 10 employees or less. I know it's hard to feel like you can time block when you have to wear all the hats. But at least if you'll go through the habit of saying, I'm going to do all my accounting on Monday mornings, or all my sales calls on Tuesdays, or every successful entrepreneur that I meet, it seems like every one of them time blocks in some capacity.
It's definitely worked for me. And then, I know that if I have calls, because I knew that you guys were going to be here. So I have all my calls because I don't want to be interrupted. That's just like stresses me out a little bit. Like to jump, Clay, we're onto this like really cool idea and we're really like, we're thriving. And so I don't want to stop that momentum. Yeah. So like that, and I don't want to, interrupt you. I totally agree. So, so I'll look at my list the night before or even during the day, and I will have somebody on my team research the entire brand, who the CEO is, who the creative director is, what they're doing, the entire history of the company, who I'm talking to. LinkedIn is amazing. I will do some homework and see what their holes are, so I can see where I can help them before I even jump on a call.
And you'll deep dive into that researching thing. It's not like you're just doing that task while you're doing this task or that task. I mean, you're obsessing over that one thing at a time. And I love that. Now, as far as on a practical level, in terms of using a day timer, or using a calendar or some kind of device to schedule your day so you don't have all these distractions and stuff. Do you like to use a software? Do you like to print it out? How do you actually use a day timer? What do you like to do?
I'm really into Asana. It's really, really helped me.
Asana?
Asana.
How do you spell that?
Asana. And I really, really like it. There's an app. I haven't even gotten into the app yet. I usually log in first thing in the morning, and I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. I usually log in at night to see what what's burning, pressing that day, and I like to timeline out like my calls. So if I know I have a huge project due on Friday, then I will make sure that I have notifications sent to me on my phone or like timeline, like, Rachel, remember that you have this thing. And so now I'm fortunate enough to have team members that are also looking at that, and I'll assign them tasks like, hey guys, I don't have time today, like research that. But but I definitely am very conscious. And I want everything, like I want to be the brand that gets things in 2 days early. I want to be the brand that delivers early. Not just on time, but delivers early.
Oh, boom.
So if you call me at midnight and I want to be that brand, if I call you at midnight, or if you call me at midnight, a brand or somebody needs a project done or whatever, I want to be the person you call me on the 11th hour, and we get so much work that day, or work that way because we are organized, we get the job done well.
And speaking of the Asana software, I feel like it almost feels like we're in a sauna. Like this room could be converted into a sauna pretty easily. We've got the wood, it has that sauna vibe here. Okay, now
pour the water on the coals, Clay.
Pour the water on the. There it is. You can just see it now. It's starting to heat up. This is a fabulous way to burn calories while doing an interview. You just turn the room into a sauna. So now we're moving on here. Here's a notable quotable, and I know you love the notable quotable. So here we go. This one is from best-selling author Jim Rohn, where he says, if you don't design your own plan, page 29, if you don't design your own plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Are there any, pig-headed rules you have for planning that you want to share? I know we've touched base on a lot of these rules, but is there any, like if I were to come work in your business or someone were to come work for you, are there any rules that you teach as far as planning your day that you're just pretty pig-headed about?
Right. Definitely. I mean, before your employees come in or before you are planning to work, it just seems like amazing that you could even have one person helping you. I mean, that's a huge step when you get that first, even like part-time help. That's amazing. So getting them to work immediately, having a task list, the first second they walk through the door is having a task list that they can knock out immediately on their own.
The first second they walk in.
Just they're in, they sit down and they know already in the drive-in what they are doing, what they should be doing that entire day.
So with so many demands on you as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a teacher, how do you find the time to write your posts or write your content? Because writing is like in my mind, writing is like a no contact sport. That's how I look at it, where I cannot be contacted by anyone while I'm writing. It like kills my train of thought. Maybe you're different, but how do you find time, or how did you find time to write all that stuff? And I know there's a lot of people watching this who want to be bloggers or entrepreneurs, who content providers. How did you find time to?
Or like you're a maker but you're not a writer, or you're a writer but you're not you don't have an eye and you're not a designer, and all of those things. I'll have to say that I was not a writer. Okay. When I first started out, I have the gift of a very good eye. I see. How about I feel like I have a very good eye? It's one of my talents. And so I knew I had that, but then I had to fill in the blanks. And it was just by writing a lot. And the better I got in, reading a lot of the writers that, who I wanted to, who I thought were pretty good and had a great voice online, and that sincere voice, and still being fun and approachable. So I I just wrote a lot, and I find time to write. I just block off those times. I block off the time to sit down and write those articles. We also have, a team of writers. We also have, but I still like to. I probably write, I don't know, 5 to 10 articles a week, most weeks.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's impressive.
I was writing 160 to 175 articles a month at one point.
Whoa. You were writing how many a month?
And that's why I love, like, I want to talk to like my English teacher in like 9th grade. It's like, you're what? Yeah.
How many did you say?
Up to 175 articles a month.
175.
Or more. Yeah.
This is the visual DJ, Rachel Faucett right here with the fire hose of knowledge you don't get in college, talking about writing 175 of these a month.
Right.
That's now let me ask you this here. The environment is
publishing
big.
and amplifying that as well.
Well, I mean, environment is a big thing. Example, I am a big, it's probably disturbing, but I'm a big bath guy. I could stay in the bath for 7 years because I for some reason, the flowing water, people not interrupting me, I like that aura. I could stay in there forever. I can never have a big enough of a bathtub. That's my thing. Some people I know like to work in the dark, like late night. They like to work with, music playing. They like to work. What is the ambiance, the atmosphere that you try to create when you're most productive? Like, what's your thing? Is it on the walk? Is it when you're sitting in the office? Is it in this cabin place? What is your perfect atmosphere?
Because I do get distracted easily,
yeah.
And because there's always things popping into my head, I really have to just, when I moved our office and like my office outside of the home, just a very short walk from my home, that made a huge difference.
Okay.
And the girls in the office and my husband are, we have fun because we take breaks. Like we have an hour break where we try to do something really fun in the middle of the day. And the whole team, we really, really encourage that. So we kind of just like put our nose to the ground. We know. So there's not a lot of noise. I like to be, I don't like a lot of talking. I don't like music playing. I like to really, because I'll just start singing and then get up and then I'm dancing and then it's like, okay, I'm not writing. So, and when I can't find the words to write, then I'm like, oh, thoughts will come through my head and I'm like, oh, I'll work on this for a second. No, stay there and then just keep writing. And even if it's crap, and then I'll come back and edit. And, but just like having the discipline, and sometimes when it's not just flowing out like that, just getting the words down.
I want to. For the Thrivers watching this, the question I want to ask you is, where is your Dagobah? You might be the Yoda of your given, platform or subject or skill set. Some of you watch this are carpenters. Some of you are bakery owners. Some of you are plumbers. Everyone has their own giftings, talents, skills. But what is that area for you? Like for me, I do classical music, Hans Zimmer, like orchestral scores. Awesome for me. I love it. If I am doing like emails, I love R&B music, I cannot listen to R&B music when I'm writing. I don't know why. It's just because of how I'm made. But everybody here, you have your own sweet spot. And it's so important, especially because so many business owners are self-employed. Mm-hmm. So many business owners have 10 employees or less. So many business owners have 10 people or less. A lot of you are working at your house. And if you're working at your house where you might love your husband or wife, but you're constantly being distracted.
Go to Starbucks.
You have to go to Starbucks.
I used to go to Starbucks, and that's a plug to Starbucks, but sorry guys, yeah.
I'm drinking out of my Starbucks cup here. I'm not endorsed by Starbucks in any way, and in fact, I believe they actually don't want me to come back sometimes. But
neither am I.
That's our Starbucks plug.
Right. So I would often, go up to Starbucks or a coffee house or something and work, and definitely. If you are at home and you don't have an opportunity to, have an amazing barn to work over, definitely get to a spot with kids and, husbands and, just riffraff during the day coming in, and the distraction of your house, and it might not even be people that is the distraction. All of a sudden you look over and you're like, oh, I've got to iron my husband's shirts, or I'd like to, I think I'm gonna go like make myself a sandwich. I think I've got to clean the dishes. Maybe I should like literally clean my oven right now. And like all those are just like super distracting. When you're like sitting in a coffee house, there's not like, you can just focus. And that's a huge tip.
I love it. I love it. Now, if you're watching this, I want to read another notable quotable to you. This is from the author Simon Sinek. And he says, there is no decision that we can make that doesn't come with some sort of balance or sacrifice. And what he's talking about, this attempt to balance, your spirit, your mind, your body, your finances, your relationships. I know it's not, as an entrepreneur, you cannot 100% be balanced because you've got to have things you focus on and things you're not focusing on. But how do you try to find some semblance of balance, or what areas do you try to, do you say, okay, my family and my finances, and then, maybe I let fitness go, and then let's go, or which ones are you say, well, fitness, but family, I haven't talked to my kids in several weeks. I mean, what areas do you focus on? How do you try to do that?
So I was at a dinner that I was invited to in New York City.
Ooh, name drop, New York City.
New York City, the Big Apple, and it was an amazing dinner with leaders in my industry and internet publishing, and everybody at the table, extremely successful, and so somebody asked me, how do you do it? And blah blah blah, and I balanced it all or whatever. And I'm like, I just gave a de facto answer, and I said, I'm just trying to find balance, and that's what I'm doing. Just keeping it all balanced. And I just got this big balance is baloney. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. I love that balance is baloney. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody says that. Like, are you crazy? And so how he explained it to me was, when you're balanced, you're just moving around, like moving along. You're just moving along. And, that's great. But when you're unbalanced, you can launch things. And yes, but I said, but you can kind of slide off the other side too. But
what areas do you get unbalanced in? Like, what is your move? What do you do?
I guess I feel like I get the opportunity to work at home. So, and I set hours.
See, I've cut just, in my mind, like, people will say I'm antisocial or I live in a bubble. I hear that. Almost every successful entrepreneur I know, people tell them they live in a bubble.
I live in a bubble for sure.
So what I've done to get balance,
a beautiful bubble.
What I've done to try to create balance in my life is I've just cut out things that society does that I don't value. So I really don't watch TV unless it's like a purposeful thing. I really don't listen to the opinions of people who's, if you're not an ideal buyer of mine and you're not a mentor, I really am just kind of whatever. I really don't spend time watching the news and worrying about what the weather is going to be like or what's going on in overseas. And and those are things I used to commit time to. And so I've just cut things out. And I think for somebody watching this right now, there's probably 2 or 3 hours. The average American, not you, but according to Nielsen's, we're going to put this graphic on the screen here. There's actually a statistic that Nielsen has, though. The average American is watching some serious amounts of TV.
I don't watch any TV, like rarely.
And so I'm just saying this.
I just like other things. Like I like making things. I like writing proposals. I love what I do. So, and if my husband wants to watch a movie with me, it's almost forced, like, honestly. And I will have my computer and getting work done. And that's when I do, like...
Does it make him mad?
A lot of pinning.
That beautiful man, that beautiful understanding man. Does it make him mad? Does it make him mad that you're...
No, he's used to it. And depends, like, if he'll ask for my full attention. We work together too, so he understands. Like, he's also an entrepreneur. So, like, I will do something like if I am watching TV, which is rare, that I will... do something that's very easy for me, like that doesn't take too much time, but I'm still on my computer. But I'll knit or like create another craft or something. I'm doing something because I'd rather do anything but really than watch TV. I like to be productive and I love what I do. So that's my relaxing time is like, thinking up new strategies and things like that. That's a ball to me.
Well, I'm going to review these 5 things we can all do for time management here. I want to review these 5. One, we've got to design our day. We've got to be getting up, designing our day in terms of who you're delegating to, what needs to be done, that needs to happen. 2, we have to delegate. We have to delegate. We have to just make sure that we're not just doing everything ourselves. The 3rd is time blocking. Time blocking is absolutely a modern marvel that we have to do. The 4th thing is that we have to get to a place where we have less distractions, maybe the coffee shop or whatever that place may be for you. And then the final thing is we have to cut some stuff out. If there's stuff in your schedule that's just a bunch of bunk, watching TV and you're like, why am I watching this? You're watching 15% of 25 shows, flipping through the channels.
Right.
Maybe you need to punt. And the only thing I wanted to disagree with you on before I shake your hand and tell you thank you is that you said you have a good eye, and I think you have 2 beautiful eyes.
That was funny. Yeah. Thanks, Clay.
Yep. Boom.
JT, do you know what time it is?
4:10.
It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem, baby. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. What year were you born?
1995.
Dude, I've been hosting business conferences since you were 10 years old, but I've never had the 2-time Heisman Award winning Tim Tebow come present. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Also, this is the first Thrive Time Show event that we've had where we're going to have a man who has built a $100 million net worth.
Wow.
Who'll be presenting. Now, we've had a couple presenters that have had $1 billion net worth in some like real estate sort of things.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've had a guy who's built a service business and he's built over $100 million net worth in the service business. It's the yacht driving, multi-state living guru of franchising. Peter Taunton will be in the house. This is the founder of Snap Fitness, the guy behind 9 Round Boxing. He's going to be here in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. JT, why should everybody want to hear what Peter Taunton has to say?
Oh, because he's incredible. He's just a fountain of knowledge. He is awesome. He has inspired me listening to him talk. And not only that, he also has, he practices what he teaches. So he's a real teacher. He's not a fake teacher like business school teachers. So you got to come learn from him.
Also, let me tell you this, folks. I don't want to get this wrong because if I get it wrong, someone's going to say, you screwed that up, buddy. So Michael Levine, this is Michael Levine. He's going to be coming. You say, who's Michael Levine? I don't get this wrong. This is the PR consultant of choice for Michael Jackson, for Prince, for Nike, for Charlton Heston, for Nancy Kerrigan, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times best-selling authors he's represented, including pretty much everybody you know who's been a super celebrity. This is Michael Levine, a good friend of mine. He's going to come and talk to you about personal branding and the mindset needed to be super successful. The lineup will continue to grow. We have hit Christian recording artist Colton Dixon in the house. Now, people say, Colton Dixon's in the house? Yes, Colton Dixon's in the house. So if you like top 40 Christian music, Colton Dixon's going to be in the house performing. The lineup will continue to grow each and every day. We're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup. But I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money.
JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did
Yep.
you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, when's it going to be? June 27th and 28th. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And so it says Tulsa, Jerusalem. I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa, Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrive Time Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. So when? June 27th and 28th. Who? You're going to come. Who? You? I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, you can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies. And I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
James, did I tell you my good friend John Lee Dumas is also joining us at the in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show Business Workshop? That Tim Tebow and that Michael Levine will be at. Have I told you this?
You have not told me that.
Oh, he's coming all the way from Puerto Rico. This is John Lee Dumas, the host of the chart-topping EOFire.com podcast. He's absolutely a living legend. This guy started a podcast after wrapping up his service in the United States military, and he started recording this podcast daily in his home, to the point where he started interviewing big-time folks like Gary Vaynerchuk, like Tony Robbins, and he just kept interviewing bigger and bigger names, putting out shows day after day, and now he is the legendary host of the EO Fire podcast, and he's traveling all the way from Puerto Rico to Tulsa, Oklahoma to attend the in-person June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshop. If you're out there today, folks, you've ever wanted to grow a podcast, a broadcast, you want to improve your marketing, if you've ever wanted to improve your marketing, your branding, if you've ever wanted to increase your sales, you want to come to the 2-day interactive June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show Business Workshop featuring Tim Tebow, Michael Levine, John Lee Dumas, and countless big-time super successful entrepreneurs. It's going to be life-changing. Get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. James, what website is that?
thrivetimeshow.com.
James, one more time before enthusiasm.
thrivetimeshow.com.
Shine, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. I'm not to be played with because it could get dangerous. See these people I ride with. This moment, we own it.
Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot-coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done his show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And it's a Mr. Clay Clark. He's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man, and there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's a guy by the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And I said, no. And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed to the business owner to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you thank you, sir, for changing my life.
But not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much. And thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I went to a small private liberal arts college and got a degree in business, and I didn't learn anything like they're teaching here. I didn't learn linear workflows. I learned stuff that I am not using, and I haven't been using for the last 9 years. So what they're teaching here is actually way better than what I got at business school. And I went what was actually ranked as a very good business school. The linear workflow for us in getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls, figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side.
Once I saw what they were doing, I knew I had to get here at the conference. This is probably the best conference or seminar I've ever been to in over 30 years of business.
You're not bored. You're awake, alive the whole time. It's not pushy. They don't try to sell you a bunch of things.
I was looking to learn how to just get control of my life, my schedule, and just get control of the business.
Planning your time, breaking it all down, making time for the F6 in your life, and just really implementing it and sticking with the program.
It's really lively. They're pretty friendly, helpful, and very welcoming.
I attended a conference a couple months back, and it was really the best business conference I've ever attended.
At the workshop, I learned a lot about time management, really prioritizing what's the most important.
Biggest takeaways are, you want to take a step-by-step approach to your business. Whether it's marketing, what are those 3 marketing tools that you want to use, to human resources.
Now, some of the most successful people and successful businesses in this town, their owners were here today because they wanted to know more from Clay, and I found that to be kind of fascinating.
The most valuable thing that I've learned is diligence. That businesses don't change overnight. It takes time and effort, and you got to go through the ups and downs of getting it to where you want to go.
He actually gives you the roadmap out. I was stuck, didn't know what to do, and he gave me the roadmap out step by step.
We've set up systems in the business that make my life much easier, allow me some time freedom.
Here you can ask any question you want. They guarantee it'll be answered.
This conference motivates me and also give me a lot of knowledge and tools.
It's up to you to do it. Everybody can do these things. There's stuff that everybody knows, but if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you.
I can see the marketing working. And it's just an approach that makes sense.
Probably the most notable thing is just the income increase that we've had.
Everyone's super fun. It's super motivating. I've been here before, but I'm back again because it motivates me.
Your competition's going to come eventually, or try to pick up these tactics. So if you don't, somebody else will.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing. And this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
If you decide to not attend the Thrive Time workshop, you're missing out on a great opportunity.
The atmosphere of Clay's office is very lively. You can feel the energy as soon as you walk through the door, and it really got me and my team very excited.
If you decide not to come, you're missing out on an opportunity to grow your business. Bottom line.
Love the environment. I love the way that Clay presents and teaches. It's a way that not only allows me to comprehend what's going on, but he explains it in a way to where it just makes sense.
The SEO optimization, branding, marketing. I've learned more in the last 2 days than I have the entire 4 years of college.
The most valuable thing that I've learned, marketing is key. Marketing is everything.
Making sure that you're branded accurately and clearly. How to grow a business using Google reviews, and then just how to optimize our name through our website also.
Helpful with a lot of marketing, search engine optimization, helping us really rank high in Google. The biggest thing I needed to learn was how to build my foundation, how to systemize everything and optimize everything, build my SEO.
How to become more organized, more efficient.
How to make sure the business is really there to serve me as opposed to me constantly being there for the business.
New ways of advertising my business as well as recruiting new employees.
Group interviews, number one. Before we felt like we were held hostage by our employees. Group interviews has completely eliminated that because you're able to really find the people that would really be the best fit.
Hands-on, how to hire people, how to deal with human resources, a lot about marketing, and overall just how to structure the business, how it works for me, and also then how that can translate into working better for my clients.
The most valuable thing I've learned here is time management.
I like the 1 hour of doing your business is real critical if I'm going to grow and change.
Clay really teaches you how to navigate through those things and not only find freedom, but find your purpose in your business and find the purposes for all those other people that directly affect your business as well.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everyone needs to attend the conference because you get an opportunity to see that it's real.